So I will attempt to go very quickly. What I would like to do is to share a few moments of our success this past year, some of the highlights, and then give out a few awards to some recognition and some awards to some Alliance members that have helped us along our way this past year. So bear with me, we'll go quickly. It was a crazy year. I think it's safe to say that 2014 didn't make a lot of sense in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways it did too. It kind of started out for me when we saw Nest go for $3.2 billion. Do the math, $3.2 billion, 2 products, we got 1,200, I'm in. You know, I'll take a fraction of that payout and go and be happy. We also saw some Z-Wave startups. We saw Piper go to iControl. We saw SmartThings go to Samsung. We saw Revolve get snapped up by Nest. The Z-Wave is very much part of this. And I think if we think about it, where did this really all start? I mean, this really all started quite a while ago when Blackstone put some money into some Vivid, right? So what's the common denominator here? The common denominator here is home control, and where do we find Z-Wave? We find Z-Wave right in the thick of it. We see Z-Wave, you know, in retail offerings, in Lowe's and Staples and Home Depot. We see Z-Wave launched with a number of different telcos, including AT&T, Orange, Bell Alliance, CenturyLink, Verizon, and others. We see Z-Wave obtaining 100% market share in the North American residential security marketplace, at least in terms of home automation or what we call lifestyle. 100%. So that's pretty amazing, pretty crazy. And it turned out to be the year of the multi-technology hubs. You know, everybody put a hub out with 16 radios or 9 radios or 5 radios or 3 radios or whatever else it was radios. And it was this radio and that radio and this radio, that radio, and Z-Wave. Every single one of those multi-technology offerings was and Z-Wave. So I'd like to say or recognize that we are right in the middle of this game, and we're not just in the middle of it, we're foundational. We are the epicenter. So what else did we celebrate in 2014? We celebrated really the coming of some new technology. Sigma got its 500 series up and running. Mitsumi just launched a new series of SoCs. We have the 6.5 SDK out now and up and running with over-the-air updates and Explorer frames and faster security and improved FLIRs and 3-channel operation. We saw Zip and ZWare poke their heads out this year. So we certainly have not been stagnant in 2014, at least in terms of technology evolution and you know, some pretty strong offerings for the future. In the press and the media, we had a great year. We brought Bulldog Communications in probably about the end of first quarter to help us with some of our communications, and we've issued at least 8 press releases. That was the number that was given to me. I think that's actually probably small, but resulting in 1,792 direct placements. That's direct placements. For you guys that know PR, and I don't pretend to understand that, that turns out to be a whole lot more of coverage than that. We opened a Twitter account 5 months ago, and we have 1,300 followers. 13 doesn't sound like a huge number, but you know what? It turns out that those 1,321 followers, probably 1,200 of them are press and media. So this has really been working for us quite well. We have a Facebook site in the US and China. We opened up a LinkedIn group and a corporate site. And we have 44 of our own videos on YouTube and significantly more out there. So I think that we did a fantastic job with our press and our media outreach this year. We certainly learned a lot, and we look forward to doing even more still in 2015. The Alliance flew its flag at several events around the world, and you can see a few of them. You know, we were in Las Vegas for CES. We were in Denver for CEDIA. We were at a Parks Health Conference in San Francisco. We were in Austin, Nashville, Washington, D.C. for the NIST Smart America Challenge. Shenzhen, where we opened our new IoT Interoperability Center. Beijing, I just got back from Beijing last week. Guangzhou, Tianjin. Last week we were in Tianjin speaking at the Smart Cities Conference. So in Roberta's presentation she talked about not just smart homes, but the intersection of smart devices with smart homes with smart cities and smart living. And we were invited, the Z-Wave Alliance was invited to present at the Tianjin Intelligent Cities Summit last week. We've been in Amsterdam, Hanover, Moscow, Tokyo, and Sao Paulo, Brazil. So we got the flag out and we got it around the world. Products, at the end of the day, it's kind of all about products. To date, at least as of the end of last week, we had 1,240 certified products, 280 of those this year to date, and 60 of those certifications are Z-Wave Plus. So you can see that little graph down there that shows the cumulative and the year-over-year growth. And keep in mind that 2014 is still, that's year to date. We still have some 2014 in front of us. What does that look like? Looks like about 53% of them in 908 frequency, 36% in 868, 4% in 916, and then we have Japan and Malaysia, Russia in after that. So great job, guys, on getting the products out there. And the Alliance now has over 300 members. So alliances, I'm finding out over the last several years I've been doing this, are kind of interesting because they tend to have atrophy about the same pace as they have entropy. So you lose people as fast as you get them. This year we actually got ahead of that curve, and we've crossed the 300 member barrier. So what does the future of Z-Wave hold for us? We're celebrating our 10th year at the Alliance. It actually was December of 2004 when we got this crazy thing going. Mike, I know you're out there. Who else is out there from that? Yeah, Mike, it's just us? That's sad, man. That's really sad. Yeah, so it all started in December of 2004, and I've told this story many times, I'm going to tell it again, left the room, needed to go to the restroom, and came back and I found I had been volunteered to be the chairman of this new organization, which I absolutely agreed to do for 6 months, and I'm proud and happy to be here 10 years later. So what does 2015 hold for us? More events, more members, more products, more media, more standards, more training, more leadership, and continued success. So that, I think, is what we have to look forward to next year, and I look forward to doing that with all of you next year as we go forward and we carry Z-Wave into the future. That said, I would like to recognize some of the folks in the Alliance that have made 2014 possible. First, I'd like to recognize our board of directors for their guidance and their financing, their funding, because they do put in a significant portion of our operating budget. And you can see the names there: Steve Shapiro, Lynn Horowitz, Michael Hudaga, George Land, Keith Lashley, Avi Rosenthal, Bill Scheffler, and others from those companies that have contributed throughout the year as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's give them a round of applause. We have these things called Z-Wave evangelists. And Z-Wave evangelists are folks that have stepped up to volunteer their time and to represent the Alliance on our behalf when I can't be there, or somebody else directly from the staff can be here. Dr. Christian Pitts from Z-Wave Europe kind of covers Europe for us. He's done a tremendous job this year. He's hosted a number of different trade shows. He's spoken on behalf of the Alliance and the Z-Wave technology at a number of different events. They just got back from hosting a very successful event in Moscow at the High-Tech Building Show in Moscow. We had 17 Alliance partners at that particular event. That was 2 weeks ago, I believe. And anyway, so this is a shout out to Christian for all of his hard work this past year, keeping Z-Wave running in Europe when we can't be there. So thank you, Christian. Jean-Pascal Desimone. Wow, one of the first. I think John was probably maybe the second customer, maybe the third customer, I'm not sure. But has been involved with Z-Wave since the very beginning. Jean's based down in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and basically takes care of all of South America and New Zealand and Australia for us. Very nice guy, very bright. His company, Flex Automation, takes Z-Wave into some very high-end properties in Sao Paulo and Rio. And Jean hosted the Alliance at the Predeltech trade show in Sao Paulo earlier this year. We had a great time and got to fly the flag in South America. So thank you, Jean. Ken Chung. Ken is with Focal Point is the name of his company. He also runs the Z-Wave Users Club in China. Z-Wave Users Club is an unofficial offshoot of the Z-Wave Alliance that Ken manages, a website and some gatherings for us, or for Z-Wave in the Chinese language. Ken was also very instrumental in opening up the IoT center in Shenzhen. I think you probably saw some of the press releases that we put out around that, some of the pictures. If you didn't, you can certainly go to our website and read about it. It's a beautiful facility that's sponsored partially by the Chinese government, partially by Z-Wave Alliance members, where there is a tremendous demonstration room with Z-Wave technology in it, and they hold classes on a weekly basis on Z-Wave technology, how to install it, how to use it, how to develop it. And Ken was very instrumental in putting that together for us, so many thanks to Ken. CKCs. CK's company, Ubitech, is the official distributor, or an official distributor for Sigma Design's SoCs in China. CK has helped us with a number of different shows. In fact, he just put together the trip we took last week and the week before that in Beijing and Tianjin. He helped us with the show in Guangzhou. He also helped tremendously with the show in all the shows in China last year, as well as had a huge hand with Ken in putting together the IoT Center in Shenzhen. So between Ken and CK, we're in really great hands in China right now. So let's give him a round of applause. So those are our Z-Wave evangelists. And again, these are non-paid positions. These are folks that are donating their time to better the cause. Sure, their businesses benefit as well. But I can assure you all four of these individuals go way well and above and beyond anything at all reasonable. I don't know why they do it, but I do know why they do it. They do it because they believe in Z-Wave, they do it because they believe in all of you, and they do it because they truly have that same passion we all have for Z-Wave. So they're fantastic and they're indispensable. Shifting gears, we'd like to give out an award for the first Z-Wave Plus certified product. We have the award here, but I don't think the recipient is in the room, so we won't get it out and hold it up in the interest of time. But the first Z-Wave Plus Certified Product Award goes to Leak Intelligence for their Leak Gopher Z-Wave Valve Controller. So that's the very first Z-Wave Plus product. So let's give those guys a round of applause. And if you don't know Leak Intelligence, it is one of our closer to the ground members. It's a small company. Some might call it a one-man shop. I think it's a little bit bigger than that, but it's kind of nice in a way to recognize that the first Z-Wave Plus product came out not from one of our larger, more funded and more staffed individuals, but from one of our smaller companies. And it just proves, I think, the entrepreneurial spirit and the ability that Z-Wave is accessible to anyone who wants to participate in it. So congratulations, Leak Intelligence. We're getting towards the end here. This is an award we give out every year. We've been giving it out now, gosh, I guess just about 10 years, maybe not quite many, 7. But this is called the Spirit of Z-Wave Award. And this is a really, really tough award to give out, I have to say. And it's tough because so many people contribute in so many different ways. It's almost impossible to say an individual or a company has really been it. So I will say that we all really should have a Spirit of Z-Wave Award. At least, I mean, the fact that you even came here tonight to listen to me qualifies you right there. But you haven't run from the room yet. I don't think some of you might have. You all get an honorary Spirit of Z-Wave Award. But we really did want to reach out and recognize one specific company, and that company is Spectrum Brands and Kwikset. And the reason we would like to recognize them is for their absolute steadfast support of us at all of our trade shows. Yeah. Okay. I think this is time to say, cut the shit, Walters. There's really one reason why we're recognizing Spectrum and Kwikset, and it is for their, come on up, I'm not going to bite. Why? What have they told you? It's not true.
So
It's not true.
So many
There you go.
things. Oh,
Thank you so much.
Thank
So it's
you.
not only for participation in the trade shows, but also for all of the participation in marketing working group and the endless suggestions for improvement, et cetera. So Spirit of Z-Wave Award. Thank you. All right. You're saying, is this guy ever going to shut up? And the answer is yes, soon, but not right now. I do get to create my own award. Janet's going, what did he do now? It's okay. I'd like to say thank you to our host for this wonderful next few days that we have, and that's Linear. Thank you very much. Last and certainly not least, I'd like to recognize the Z-Wave Alliance staff, because I really didn't do much of this. They did pretty much all of it. But Janet, Rick, Ron, come on up. Art. Who else do we have here? Christine's not here. Come on, I don't bite. Come on, get over here. I think you can see what I have to work with here. You know, they're a little slow and take some prompting, but and you know, Christine, who couldn't be here, also who helps Janet, works with Janet very closely on membership. Sandy, who takes care of our money for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And David from Bulldog, who handles all of our social media. You guys rock. And that is it. Thank you so much for a wonderful year.